Route 45 leaders, April is already off to a fantastic start, especially with our fam jam and our parents that got to come participate in that. Some encouragement for you guys is that every single parent that we had come through our doors this past Sunday was just absolutely overflowing with thanksgiving for what it is that you guys do in these kids' lives every single week. So congratulations, you guys are amazing. In case somehow you managed to miss that fact, this is the thing that's gonna come back to show you that. This April, we are talking about bright side, we are talking about hope, and we are getting ready for Easter, which is such an exciting time to get to celebrate with your kids. This year, we're asking our volunteers to serve for 2 services and then attend 1 service with their family. Our service times this year are 8:30, 10 o'clock, and 11:45. Please make sure that you guys have let me know which service you plan on serving at and which group you want to be serving with. We're expecting an influx of volunteers to come in and help us manage these big numbers that we're expecting to see for both the 10 o'clock and the 11:45 services. These are your kids every week, so I want to make sure that these extra people that we're having come in don't steal the time that you have with your kids on such a special day. Honestly, Easter is next week's problem. Let's dig into what we're talking about this week. Your first activity for this week, you are coming out of large group and you are going to ask your kids 2 things that they remember from the large group story. Once they've kind of shared those things with you, I want you to dig into the idea of what it was like whenever Jesus was coming into town, what that was like, how that felt, and you're going to give your kids the opportunity to express what that might have felt like for them. They're going to take some cardstock that's included in your folder and they're going to make their very own posters that they might have held up if they had been welcoming Jesus into town. Now, that's an abbreviated version of that activity because you have the opportunity as the small group leader to dig into Jesus' story a lot more. You get the opportunity to ask your kids what it feels like to know that Jesus gave something so big, his own life, for us, and how it must have felt to know coming into town that that's what he was walking into. Use this time to feel your group out and find out how much of the Easter story they actually know. You could very easily have some kids coming into your environment this week that have never heard the Easter story before and might not even know who this Jesus guy that we're talking about is. Along with your discussion questions, of course, we're going to emphasize our memory verse for this month. In this activity, you're going to use some rocks that we have included in your bags, and you're going to ask your kids what it might have sounded like if the rocks had cried out. Take the rocks in your bag and pass them around your group. And as the rocks come to each kid, ask them to tell you how it is that they think rocks might have sounded if they had decided to speak. This is an opportunity to really get those creative juices flowing in your kids. Finally, in your closing prayer activity, you have the opportunity to expose your kids to a new kind of prayer. We've been kind of tinkering around with this for the past few weeks about emphasizing that there's more than just one way to pray with your kids. And in this way, you're going to read through a psalm, and at each pause, you're going to have your kids cry out, Hosanna. Obviously, I'm from the South, so I say Hosanna. Other people say Hosanna. But of course, that is a preference that I will leave to you. You're welcome. The verse is already written out for you in your lesson. It even has the spots written where you want to pause for your kids to respond. Guys, Easter is almost here. I'm so excited for what this month has to offer with this amazing theme and this incredible virtue. Easter is right around the corner, and one of the ways that we're celebrating that is that we are offering 2 splash classes this month, this week and on the 28th as well. So if you've got kids that are asking about what it means to follow Jesus, what it means to be baptized, what it means to put him in charge, make sure their parents go home with a splash class card that tells them everything they need to know about signing up for a splash class, especially leading up to our family baptism celebration that's happening on May 5th. Easter is almost here, but we are focused on the now. So make sure that you're looking over your lessons for this week, praying ahead to the Easter week next week, and getting excited for the kids that you're going to have in your ministry. Guys, I love you, I'm praying for you, and I cannot wait to see what God is going to do on Sunday.